Hi there, this is Shay, CEO of Social Squares, and I just wanted to walk you through a little personal project that I'm working on utilizing the membership backend to really kind of serve my own personal Instagram account a little bit better. So, I have made a commitment to myself that this year I'm going to start getting a little more serious and intentional about my own personal Instagram account and the brand that I'm building there. And part of that is going to be really narrowing in on a color palette and overall vibe and aesthetic that's more true to who I am. So, right now I'm on the dashboard and you can see that I do already have custom curation preferences set up for myself. I must have set these up at some point, but I'm not entirely sure what it's pulling. I just don't remember. So I'm going to go up here to edit my preferences, which is going to take me over to the My Account page where I can go ahead and change my custom curation and tell it what colors I want to see. And I can also tell it what kind of keywords I'd like it to pull for me, but I really like it to leave it super open-ended. So this is where I can go in and I can kind of dictate the colors that it's pulling. So what I want to pull in is tan, and I'd like to have it pull in black as well. So I'm going to kind of stick with this. I'm probably going to eliminate white because I think there just might be too much that white pulls, and maybe I will eliminate gray also. So tan, black, and taupe. And let me just update that, and then I'm going to see what it pulls. So now I can go over here to view, and I can take a peek at what it's pulling. A lot of similar stuff. So you can see why this is pulling because it must have been in the neutrals. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go over to my favorites. And this is what I currently have selected. This was when I was just like totally in a very like pink frame of mind. And I'm going to kind of clean this out because I really do want a fresh start. And I want to be a little more specific about what I'm choosing, even though these images are super beautiful. I'm just going to eliminate all of these corals because I really do want to move in the direction of a super, super neutral brand. So I'm unhearting these. That one could kind of be neutral. That could almost be neutral. And I want to show you like what this will do. And I think this is a good practice of just kind of using the favorites page to curate for yourself. Just will be super helpful because you'll be able to visually see everything together. All right. So I'm going to refresh this page and let's see what it looks like now. Okay, so I still see some stuff I want to get rid of because again, I'm really going to go for like a very neutrals, taupes, black and white, editorial vibe. So I'm going to eliminate anything that is just like maybe too bold of a color. I don't think I'm really going to go in the direction of grays, so I don't think I'm going to need this interior. So I'm just going to kind of keep clearing this out. This image though, I love, 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 and I'll probably build a lot of where I go from here around that image. So let me refresh again. Okay, it's definitely getting better. You'll see it's also starting to pull some things that were farther down my favorites page. So I'll have to keep doing a little bit of work here to eliminate images and kind of keep what I want in this very neutral color palette. But at the end of the day, what I'm going to end up with here is a favorites gallery that is really kind of all centered around the tones that I want to be working with. So keep getting rid of all of this stuff. And then you'll see in a minute, once I land exactly where I want, you'll kind of see where I'm headed from a color perspective, and I'll begin to add more to it. Now, let's go to the actual image gallery. And this is when I'm going to start kind of like favoriting new images that are in line with what I want to be talking about. So I'm starting basically at the new arrivals. That's where this will always pull first. So this is going to give me the new arrivals from newest to oldest. So I'm going to kind of start there. Oh my gosh, this pink collection was so beautiful. But what I'm looking for is really going to be neutrals, but I'm just going to start by going through the newest collections of images. This was a motherhood collection. I can probably supply my own motherhood images, so I don't need that quite as much. Okay, now we're getting into some stuff that's really in the color category that I want. So I'm going to start to favorite some of these images and really start to build my new color palette brand visuals around. I just posted this image today around this new color palette. I don't really need an iPad image, so I'll skip that. Gardening, yes, give me all the gardening things. I just basically love this entire collection. Yes, yes, yes. Basically, that entire collection is just a big yes for me. Stick with my neutrals. Let's go with yes here. And you'll really be able to get a feel for the color palette that I'm going for once you see all this start to come together. So from there, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go down here and look at, sorry, my own screen is covering it up. I'm going to peek through categories, but actually I'm pretty open as it relates to categories. I do want a little bit of florals and greenery, so let me just take a peek at that real quick and see if there's anything. I think I already got that one. Yeah, so you'll see when I hover over it, the heart shows up. That shows me that I've already selected that image, which is super helpful. I'll keep going. Move this back out of the way. So there's probably gonna be a lot. Okay, here's some. Yes, yes. We keep going. Yes, yes. This is a definite yes. And as you're kind of working through this, you're going to end up selecting images on a whim, and then you might look at them later and be like, oh, it's not a really great fit. And that's really what I love about the process of using your favorites page to figure out what images you want to use, is that it really helps you to visualize them all together and then further eliminate them. It's just sort of a helpful tool for doing your own curation. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to go to colors. So I actually want to go back to the main, sorry, not my dashboard. I want to go back to the main gallery so that I'm not in greenery, I think is where I was. And I just want to kind of take a look through some of these color tags. So I already pulled that. And going through these color tags is just a great way to look to find more that's going to be a great fit. I love these backgrounds. If I did like a quote graphic, that would be great to use. Okay, so let me go back now to my favorites, and it will be much easier for me to kind of determine whether or not I'm getting the vibe that I'm really going for and kind of curate and piece them together. So I'm going to remove that. I'm really going for this vibe right here. So I've got to decide whether I'm going to go pair it with like dark greens or these kind of like muted greens. And I think for the vibe I'm going for, I'm probably going to pair it with a darker green. I like the black alarm clock image better, so I'm going to eliminate that. I don't actually think I'm going to use a lot of gray. So I'm going to eliminate that. I just don't think I need it. These are kind of some backgrounds. I'm going to eliminate that. And you'll just kind of start to see if they all work together or don't work together. Like this now, when I'm looking at these two, this has a more yellow background, so I can kind of eliminate that. Love these moody shadows here. I'm just able to kind of see if it all goes together. So I'm going to have to decide if I'm going to incorporate brown or not, or if I'm just going to stick with black. I'll keep that for now. I'm going to eliminate that because I think I want to stick with things that maybe have a little bit harsher shadows. So I might go for more of the dramatic, moody stuff instead of the more muted. I'll use My Home instead of that. Okay, let's see. Let's see where this gets us. Okay, we're getting closer and closer. So you can just kind of see how putting them into favorites, all right, this is probably a little too pink, even though I love the image, putting them into your favorites can really start to help you see everything side by side, make sure that it goes together, really sort of develop a vibe. So I'm going to make that one, refresh, which will help ensure that what you're putting out on social is really consistent. So I'm going to keep working on this, but it just gives you a little bit of an idea of how you can begin to piece together a visual brand palette using the custom curation feature, using the categories, and also using the favorites option. I hope you have fun doing this for yourself. I'll see you guys around.